We want to begin with what President Trump is calling a historic agreement towards peace in Gaza. The president says the plan was negotiated by his International Board of Peace. It includes the complete disarmament of the militant group Hamas. A senior Hamas official has told our partners at the BBC News that the group is on board with parts of the plan. The news came as officials in Gaza were reporting new deadly Israeli strikes in Gaza. CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata is in Amman, Jordan, monitoring developments. So, Charlie, the president says that this plan will be carried out in phases. I guess the first question is, have Israel and Hamas agreed to this? Have they publicly made statements that say that this plan is going into effect?
Let's dive in, Vlad. The short answer is no, not entirely. And because we have diametrically opposed opinions on what's going on here. And this isn't just us trying to figure out, read the tea leaves. We contacted Israeli officials. We talked to the chief, or one of the chief Hamas spokespeople this morning. And here's the sticking point about that. Israel said that they would be willing to pull the Israeli troops back out of Gaza after Hamas disarms. Hamas say that they will disarm. In fact, they don't even like to use that phrase, disarm. They're going to put their weapons in storage, put them in a place that it can be certified. They won't do that until Israel withdraws. But that doesn't necessarily mean that this is, a stillbirth. There is progress here. President Trump made this great triumphant announcement overnight because there has been progress in those talks. But I hate the phrase, but the devil really is in the detail, because we're talking about a timeline here. When does Hamas, and by the way, not only Hamas, there are other armed militant groups inside Gaza. They have to sign up for this. The Israelis have to sign up for this. So it's where those two meet. But there is progress because they've decided that there is a possibility in that. And if this were to happen, and this is a big if, this would be the first time that Hamas has come anywhere close to an agreement where they would lay down their arms in order to find some sort of peaceful solution. This is a militant group that was formed on militancy against Israel. So that is a big if, and that is going to take probably some more negotiations, because there are certain elements of Hamas that are okay with this because we've got 2 million Palestinians suffering inside Gaza, and others who say, well, wait a minute, I think we have to check the fine print on this one.
Yep, indeed. All right, Charlie D'Agata reporting from Amman, Jordan. Charlie, thank you.
For more on this, I want to bring in CBS News Middle East contributor Courtney Kealy. Good to have you on set. So the president has made comments about a new Palestinian government that would come out of this. What do we know about the logistics here?
Well, the Board of Peace still exists, and what we're seeing is things that were laid down with like a 20-point plan last October when they came to this peace agreement, and President Trump was in Jerusalem and spoke to Knesset. Now there was a delay, and everything stalled because of Israel and Iran and the U.S. in February. So Gaza was ignored, basically. So logistically, half of the population is displaced and living in tents, squalid conditions. The Israelis have nearly 70% of the military inside Gaza. And what the military has been doing is still targeting Hamas officials and still trying to blow up these tunnels. So Hamas would have to give up heavy weapons. They would have to, they would have to be handed over to like an international security force that they're going to put up, and it would be neighboring Arab states and other states that would help. And then once those heavy weapons are given up, also the tunnels and any kind of places where they stage this asymmetrical warfare would have to be shut down. You can't change the ideology of the people that believe in Hamas still, but there are people living there that are under Hamas's control that don't want to be under Hamas's control. They want help. There are a lot of Israelis that don't want their children, their young soldiers, in Gaza. But Prime Minister Netanyahu has not responded to this. Itamar Ben-Gvir, one of his ministers, who's very far right, said, we're not doing this. In fact, we just want all the Palestinians out of Gaza, and we're going to take over the land. But that is not what people want. They want some kind of resolution, but there's been so much focus on Iran these days.
Do you think that Hamas will not just disarm, but that they, which is certainly a possibility, but that they would actually give up political power in Gaza?
Well, the religion is what's the the umbrella over it all. and it's an interpretation of Islam that's more than conservative. You know, women are covered, and this isn't necessarily what most Gazans wanted. I mean, I never wore a hijab early on when I went to Gaza, and things did change. I mean, I can still, if I was there today, I could still walk around with one, but I probably choose to wear one because everybody's so conservative. And that didn't exist. So Hamas, and then their social services have always been tied in to the religion and then the military wing and this obligation and this allegiance. So how do you undo the psychological loyalty while they're giving up weapons? And who's going to go first? Like, will Israel start phasing out the soldiers, or will Hamas give up the weapons? They're both saying, no, Israel has to do this, and Israel's saying, no, Hamas has to do this. So who's going to go first?
That's a good question.
All right, Courtney, really appreciate you joining us.
Thanks, Courtney.